Well, Rock Me Mama Like a Wagon Wheel is the Going Off podcast with Rap Critic and Muse, and we got a fun one for you this week.
I still hear that song on the radio, like, a lot. Wagon Wheel by Darius Rucker, his version. Like, I know he had another one, but, like, it doesn't get played nearly as much. That, This Is My Bad, Come Back song. At least I think that's him.
I think that's the only one I've heard, and I barely heard it on the radio. The only reason I knew about it is because I heard Lindsay Ellis sing it.
Which one? Wagon Wheel or?
Yeah, Wagon Wheel.
Wagon Wheel gets a lot of play around here.
See, I'm just not listening to the right radio stations. That's what it is.
Or maybe you're making all the right choices. Who knows? With me, the first version I ever heard was by a band called Old Crow Medicine Show.
What are they from, like 1901? Like, good lord. For the Wild West?
It was all part of the bluegrass aesthetic.
Yeah, and do they sell medicine on the side as well?
Snake oil, yeah.
They'll play you a tune and sell you a tonic for your hair.
I know we just wanted to get into the reviews, but real quick, did you ever see the video for Say, Say, Say by Paul McCartney and MichaelJackson?
Yes, I did.
Where they're like...
I wasn't expecting you to bring this up.
Where they're like in a traveling stagecoach.
Oh, yeah.
Say,
I remember that song.
Say what you want. They had the, you do one for me and I'll pay you back.
Oh, that's right.
The gosh darn girl is mine.
Even like amongst our family that were like super huge Michael Jackson fans, like that song with Paul McCartney was kind of like the one we didn't really play that much. It's the wackest song off the album. And I remember watching VH1 Classics and seeing that music video, like, with, like, cause I didn't know about the Say, Say, Say song. I didn't know anything about it when I first saw this video when I was a kid. And so I'm watching it and I see like Paul McCartney featuring Michael Jackson. What the hell? Michael Jackson doesn't do features, And then it was like, I saw that it was for this song and I was just like, this wasn't even worth it.
No, it's really not. Say, 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 I think might be the better of the two because The Girl Is Mine has that really cringy part at the end where they're like arguing.
Oh, she's my forever lover,
I told you, Paul, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Oh, stop it. So cringy.
Do you guys know how humans interact with each other?
I forgot all about the... She said she's my forever lover. Shut up.
I'm sorry, like... Is it the point of this song that you guys are both trying to get with this girl, but she's with both of you and did not tell? Like, shouldn't you be just a little bit angry about this?
Yeah, no, I think they're both taking it rather well.
And it's like, oh, well, you seem to have dipped your penis where I've dipped mine. What a kerfuffle.
I thought you were going to say, you got your peanut butter in my chocolate. You got your chocolate in my peanut butter. In Say, 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 for those who haven't seen it, it's like an old-timey music video where Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney, and his wife Linda McCartney are like in a traveling stagecoach doing like circus performances and also like selling tonic, and Paul is like selling the tonic and Michael's like he's in on it in the audience. He's like, hey, you boy, drink this, and he's like, oh, it made me stronger, and fucking selling tonic and shit. I don't know whose idea was that. It doesn't really fit either of their aesthetics.
It sounds like Paul. Like, it just... Paul McCartney is always like this old school, like, he should have been writing songs in the 20s and shit type of vibe,
There was a song, I forget which one it was, but it was in the later days of the Beatles, and John Lennon called it more of Paul's granny shit.
Yeah, I think it was... What was the... Your mother should know...
It was either that or Martha, my dear. Like, come on, dude. They all sound like, yeah, you're right. Like they should all be played on fucking Victrolas.
And the voice should be, Martha, my dear. Like...
It's super tinny. Fucking, oh brother, art thou ass.
We hear that you pay good money to sing into a can.
Recording a song in a wax cylinder ass.
That's what those fucking things are called, yeah.
But all that aside, this week on the show, we've got 2 Patreon-requested album reviews for that ass. We got one from my page and one from Darren's page. And this week, because we like to go in chronological order, we're going to go with the one that is a year older. And that's the request on Darren's page. What you got for us this week?
Thank you very much, Andrew Outwater, for your request. And he requested Wheeler Walker Jr.'s Redneck shit. And bro, this shit... Oh my God. When that first song catches you off guard with exactly what it's trying to do, I was like, oh my, we're going to have some fun tonight. And you know what it is? It's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to look at the track list because I don't even want to ruin any of the jokes that are coming. So basically, this is like a country Weird Al / Eminem type album where he's just like going balls to the wall with this crazy ass, like playing off of all the redneck humor stereotypes, you know, the fucking your cousin, the trailer truck and all that shit. But it's like, he does it to such a strange degree that it wraps back around and you can't help but laugh. And I really enjoyed that. Like, it never felt like it was just dumping on the South. It felt like it was just like we were laughing with him, not at him, you know?
Wheeler Walker Jr., for those of you who might be thinking to yourself that name sounds vaguely familiar, but you're not sure, you can't quite place it. There was a news story about a year or two ago where Wheeler Walker Jr. caught a lot of attention because he went on Twitter and basically called out a lot of folks in mainstream country for ripping off black culture and using like rap shit in their songs but not working with black artists and shit. And he was like, I don't even try for that shit. Like, I'm not ripping off anyone's thing. Like, I'm doing my own thing, but y'all over there acting like you're cool with it, but you don't work with any black people or whatever. Like,
that's exactly my point. Because I'll listen to country sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I like listening to the country radio, and you know, I enjoy when country artists sound like country music. You know, and it's not that I don't appreciate crossovers, but whenever they do, it always sounds like weak as water. It always sounds like they don't actually care. It always sounds like this really cheap version of hip hop. Like, I feel like you can mix country and hip hop and it can work, but these guys are obviously not doing it. And when he said that shit on Twitter, and I think it might have been someone else, somebody said Steve Earle also called it out because he was the one who said it's like hip hop for white people or something like that. And I was like, oh shit. Now Wheeler Walker called it out on Twitter, but Steve Earle called it out. It was like in like an article I saw. Yeah, so there's a couple of country artists that like they know what's going on.
Man, if we're just gonna get right into it, I thought like, wow, okay, cool, redneck shit. And I thought that was pretty dope. I thought it was fun. But man, like, his one note joke shit for me kind of ran its course. Like,
oh, you weren't feeling it.
Not for that long, man. And it's only a half hour, but like, he's got like 3 things. And it just cycles through them. And it's like, man, like, you could write songs about a lot of shit, but it's just like tits and blowjobs for the whole half hour. It's like, all right.
I'll put it to you like this. Redneck shit was a good introduction. Beer, weed, and cooches. That one was like that one was the cool, like, sort of second joint. Then when he did Family Tree, the lyrics to Family Tree just like blew the shit out of the water, because it was just like, you know, as you're listening to it, like, yeah, he's being ridiculous, but then as you listen, it's like, but he's actually writing a pretty good country song, you know, like, it actually rocks. He can actually sing, but then you get to the chorus and yo, it's all about just fucking different members of your family. And whereas you could say the first 2 songs are sort of like, you know, going after the topic in general of just redneck shit, I like the songs where he gets really specific. So like, this one is the definitive I'm fucking your relatives anthem. And like, the chorus goes, cause if I had my druthers, I'd butt fuck both your brothers. Then I'd grab your sister, take her out back and fist her, go down on your mama, start a whole lot of drama. Something about the complete predictableness of him saying going down on your mama and start a whole lot of drama. And just like, but it's like, I know it's a lame rhyme, but it's just the fact that you're like, I mean, yes, that would start a lot of drama though. I mean.
Yeah, I was actually going to comment on, unfortunately, that is kind of like a thing where a lot of the rhymes are predictable, but this isn't a rap album, so, you know, that's not exactly, you're not coming here for the fucking clever rhymes, you're coming here for, you know, the lyrics and the music and whatever.
Yeah, the shock value of like what he's going to say. And that's what it was. Like, only listen through to it once. That's all you need to do. But you just gotta have the experience of just how ridiculous and how crazy each song keeps getting. I feel like I enjoyed this album a lot more than you, because when I got to certain songs that did sort of feel like this isn't really as funny, but the vibe of it is so like forward and honest and just in your face that I still was enjoying it. Like, Can't Fuck You Off My Mind, Fuck You Bitch, and I think it was Fightin', Fucking and Fartin'.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like, these three songs, they don't really have a great topic, and they're not really that funny in and of itself. Oh, and it was Sit On My Face as well. Those are the four songs where it's like, they're not as strong, but it's just like, if you are in that sentiment, you know, like if you're like feeling that mood, then it completely works because of how bluntly honest it is. Like, Can't Fuck You Off My Mind. How many love songs are like, you know, I tried to, go out and be and have a good time, but I can only miss you. And it's like, they're always using these, metaphors for how they're going out and having sex, but they get to say, and it's just like, I'm fucking these different people and it's not working. Like, I just love how blatant it is. And then Fuck You Bitch, where it's just like, you say we're done, you packed up your stuff, it's really over. And, the verse is like really like, oh, it's gonna be this like heartfelt, direct song. And it's just, no, it's not. It's fuck you, bitch. You broke my heart. Fuck you, dog. I hope he doesn't come home. I hope you wind up alone, bitch. Like, it starts off sounding like it's about to go be sincere, and then just jumps the other way so starkly that I just couldn't help but chuckle. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I thought some songs are obviously better than others too. I'm in the same boat with you on that. Like, Can't Fuck You Off My Mind works.
It's definitely a one-note joke.
I got the vibe of a cassette you would find on sale at a gas station convenience store. Like, hey, this is something for the truckers to pop in the radio and have a few laughs. Like, if this was like 4 or 5 songs, I'd be like, yeah, but it's like, man, you're repeating a lot of the same, like, material. However, a song you didn't mention was probably my favorite on the album, Eatin' Pussy, Kickin' Ass.
I love it. Okay, track number 7. I almost don't want to tell the names of these songs, because like I want people to experience it like I did. No, because if you see the tracks, the joke's already kind of given away.
Well, see, the thing with Eatin' Pussy, Kickin' Ass is there is a punchline that is a surprise.
That is the one that's different.
Yeah.
Better Off Beaten Off was a little too simple.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, that was one where I didn't know the name of the song, so when I got that, it was like Better Off Beaten Off, I was like, oh, I get what's happening here. But like, if I had looked at the song title, like, it wouldn't have worked. That's why I kind of hate that I'm telling you the song titles right now. But take a couple of days and then go listen to this album again, okay? Just do it like that. But my faves were Family Tree, Eating Pussy, Kicking Ass, and the last track, because I felt like those made the songs, made the topics that he's doing a lot more like big and over the top, to the point where like it's just like you have to enjoy how ridiculous it is,
I actually agree with those picks. Those would probably be my favorite ones too. Also throw some honorable mentions to Redneck Shit and Beer, Weed, Cooches. Which, I don't know, man. Like, I've never seen it spelled out like that.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, I was like, wait, is this something I don't know what that is?
And it's not like he's going for a fucking, PG song list here.
Yeah. You know what I wrote down? I was like, if Trevor from GTA had his own radio station, this is what his music would sound like, right?
Yeah.
So if you really like GTA 5, how about that? This album is for you. Like, doesn't this sound like this would be on the country radio station? You know what I mean? I gotta shout out Drop 'Em Out, though. I almost forgot. That song is like rivaled with Areolas by Tech 9 as like my favorite fucking song about tits. Like it was just so like down home. Just that was the honky tonk joint where you just stomp your foot as you know what I'm saying for the dance. And like there was a little music video for it, you know, a little cheap like animated video that looked like it was made during the height of Newgrounds. Because doesn't that just sound like what this music is? And like, you know, they're playing the music, and it was really funny because, like, it flashed to, like, the drummer in the background, and he looked like the most enthusiastic. He was just like, yeah, I want to see them titties.
I gotta say, my favorite part of the album is where I kind of got self-aware on Eatin' Pussy Kickin' Ass, when you hear, like, someone in the band, like, don't put my name on this.
Oh, yeah. They would do little things at the end where it would just be like, huh? Well, you guys are still with me, right? Was that too far?
I liked that. I thought that was funny. You know what else is interesting? I didn't listen to it, but for a couple of his albums, he actually has Spotify commentary tracks for the albums.
I saw that and I was like, I don't know if I should check that out.
What could you possibly say?
It would be funny if he was like dead serious. He was like, this is the type of humor that, you know, I was using to get through my second divorce.
Right, yeah, exactly. I don't know. I got like a only slightly better than, and I think you might be able to relate because you lived in the South with me, but like Morning Zoo Crew in the South,
yeah,
they have
definitely.
When they have the comedian musician in, and he does a funny song. Like, these are a little better than that, but only because, like, they're better musically. Like,
yeah.
Like, the fucking band is on point.
They are tight.
And fucking Wheeler does have a really good voice, so it kind of adds to the humor because it sounds like it could be legit.
I think that's what it really, like, I think that's what makes a really good parody song is the fact that, like, the song actually does sound really good. Whenever you hear a super cheap sounding parody, it's like, well, that's not fun. You didn't try, you know?
Yeah, but no, there actually was a lot of effort put into this, and it's fun. I will say, for me, the joke ran its course, but I never got bored, so that's a plus. I probably wouldn't listen to it again, though, like you had said. I only gave it the one playthrough, and I was like, I'm good. Because by that point, all the fucking jokes are spoiled for you.
Yeah, I'm totally going to surprise some of my station head viewers with the...
That really is it, isn't it? It's like, it's the fucking put it on in the car and see who looks up from their phone. You know?
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck? So it isn't expecting it.
I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it.
Wow, damn. I'm thinking maybe like 2.5 to 3.
Oh,
like,
man, no love?
Not that much. I mean, it's what it is. I wasn't in love with it, but, you know... It was fun.
If you want to just hear, like, if you're that type of, you know, man, I sure wish I could hear some more Jack Black and Adam Sandler music, but country, you know, like, here you go. You know what I mean?
Speaking of Jack Black.
Dude, did you see that?
That made me laugh so fucking hard. By the way, first of all, the fucking Blackjack music video from Amine.
I feel like such an idiot. For the longest time, like, I was watching the video, I saw it was called Blackjack. I was like, huh, Blackjack? I don't get it. And then I saw School of Rap, and then I'm just watching, I was like, oh, School of Rap.
It's still going over your head.
It wasn't until he literally said, who doesn't love Jack Black? Like, and then, like, it wasn't, like, just one line. It was just like, that's why I love Jack Black. Wait, who doesn't love Jack Black? Oh, come on, everybody loves Jack Black. It was just like, it wasn't even a line of the song. Like, he just stopped the song just to be like, wait, we all love Jack Black, right? Like, who the fuck doesn't like him? And then Jack Black fucking responds on Instagram. I was like, oh, shit.
School of Rap? That is beautiful. I need to see this movie. Dude, I was touched. Seriously. Blackjack? School of Rap? Let's do this!
And I love how he's like,
Amine?
Oh.
And Amine responded, and he goes, I only allow someone to mispronounce my name if they make me smile at the same time. Jack Black gets a pass.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I remember when I was a kid, and he, in the movie School of Rock, there's a scene where, like, I'm watching the movie. I'm like, I love Jack Black. School of Rock is a cool idea, but I'm like, what about hip hop? And I remember there was like a line that felt a little snippy when he was just like, what about P Diddy? Some kid brought up P Diddy, and he was just like, no, that's whack. And I was just like, wait, does he think hip hop is whack, or does he just think P Diddy's whack? Because I'm fine with you thinking P Diddy's whack, but
That's when we try to get Jack Black on the podcast, and that's the one question we have him clarify. Okay, for the record, is it all hip hop or just P Diddy? Because we're about to have a problem, and I don't want to have this moment. I don't want to have to cancel Jack Black over hating hip hop. Oh no!
Oh no! He's Gene. Who's that fucking dude from Kiss?
Oh yeah, Gene Simmons. Rock's dead. We caught Jack Black on Instagram. Him and his son were in the car, and they went live on Instagram. But it was when Jack Black was driving, and his son was trying to do it, and he was just like, "Are we live right now?" And his son's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh wow, this is the first time on Insta. This is our first live." And he's like, I can't really do this though because I'm driving and I can't pay attention." And his son's like, you could tell he's really excited and he wants to do it. He's like, "No, it's okay, I'll hold it." He's like, No. So I was like, all right, I guess that's it. Bye. And they were live.
Jack Black being a responsible adult.
They were live for like a minute and a half, and it was like, wow, great first Instagram live show.
But you know what? That shows how he's like, you got to pay attention to the road when you're driving,
Jack Black is setting a fine example.
I think the internet, the people are due for a Jack Black resurgence. Where'd he even go anyway?
Nowhere.
He's one
That's
of those
the thing.
guys.
He's always been around.
No, but dude, I feel like when I saw him in the Gorillaz video, I remember having the moment of like, yeah, why don't I see Jack Black everywhere?
There was a time where, yeah, you couldn't fucking turn around without bumping into something Jack Black related. And yeah, it just kind of came and went. But I think Tenacious D have like a new album coming out. They have like an YouTube web cartoon series. They're doing some things. Like, they're not like super in your face about it.
Yeah, I think they're comfortable in their little corner of the world, Did the greatest song of the world, was that an actual like clip on their show, or was it a music video that actually played on MTV? I always get it confused.
That was a music video. I remember seeing that on MTV back in the day with fucking Dave Grohl as the devil.
And then I think Ben Stiller's at like the very beginning.
Yeah,
he's in like a cameo, like those really like walk-on cameos,
Dude, another really small aside. I fucking heard the song Somebody to Love by Jefferson Airplane earlier this week, and I thought to myself...
Thought about Cable Guy?
I wonder what percentage of people hear that song and immediately think about Cable Guy, because that's exactly where my mind goes. And it's like, I know that's kind of the joke, that Cable Guy was like a shitty movie, but... I think I may have seen that movie more than most Jim Carrey movies.
Yo, I feel like I feel odd about that because, yeah, that does feel like one of those movies that, like, I didn't watch as much, but somehow it, like, was one of the most memorable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's something about that movie that sticks with you.
The scene with Jack Black playing basketball and smashing the backboard.
Oh, yeah, Jack Black!
And there was that weird side story that every so often the movie was checking in on this, like, murder trial, and Ben Stiller was, like, on trial for murder, but, like, he was playing a character, and the whole movie was leading up to his verdict, and that's when the Cable Guy, like, disrupts the feed, and no one finds out, and everyone just picks up books and starts reading. A lot of that movie really stuck with me, and I don't know. I guess it's just because it got played on TV a lot, probably because of the licensing.
I think it got played on Comedy Central a lot because I think it was one of the Jim Carrey comedies where you could go, "Hey, look, Jim Carrey movie," but like not one of the ones that we have to pay more for. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and you could also have it in the commercials being like Jack Black, Ben Stiller, even though they're only in it for like a minute.
That's true. They would totally do that shit.
The old bait and switch.
Oh my God, I got so mad. I remember one time, I know we're going on another tangent. The Going Off podcast does it again. I was just talking to someone about like movies where they'll have a famous actor for only one scene and but they bank the movie on that. And dude, I used to get swindled during the Blockbuster era, bro. Where I remember there was this one movie and, I loved Friday and, you love all the characters in the movie. And I always felt like, tiny Zeus Lister, I always felt like he wasn't in enough movies. I feel like he was kind of underutilized as a character, Yeah. And like I saw that there was this one movie with him in it and I was like, oh snap, I want to see it. I don't even know what it is, but it's a black film, support black cinema, whatever. Yeah, I'll check it out. And he was in like the scene at the very beginning. Like it was just like, I'm busting through the windows and I'm the angry black guy. And then it's like, all right, well, I'm gone now. And then
he just says that, I'm gone now.
And then it was just like after that 2 minutes, I really had that moment of just like, I have no reason to watch this anymore.
You said out loud, he's not coming back. He's really gone.
But the funny thing was, if you looked at the poster, like his name is prominently on it as if he was like going to be a bigger part of the movie. You know what I mean?
He's not even that big of a star. Why would you have his name?
Because that's all they could probably get.
Oh my God. Have you ever seen No Holds Barred?
No.
The Hulk Hogan movie from the late 80s, early 90s. The whole movie is Hulk Hogan plays a professional wrestler and he gets challenged by Zeus, tiny Zeus Lister. He's like the arch nemesis of the movie. Again, kind of like a Mad TV WCW thing. I might be going over people's heads here, kind of alienating the audience. But what's so great about that was because the movie had Hulk Hogan in it, and it had some cameos from some announcers and commentators, some other wrestlers from the time. They actually had it cross over into current WWF like storylines. Like Zeus actually showed up on WWF television and was challenging Hulk Hogan. And they had a pay-per-view that aired on a pay-per-view with the movie, and it was like No Holds Barred, the movie, the match, and it was like, now you can see it for real, and it's total shit, because Zeus is dog shit as a wrestler. He can't do anything. He's tagged in, because of course they make it a fucking tag match. It's him and Macho Man Randy Savage against Hulk Hogan and his tag team partner Brutus the Barber Beefcake. And Zeus is tagged in for like maybe a couple minutes, and Macho does all the heavy lifting.
He's like, oh wait, I don't actually know how to do this, never mind.
I forgot. Like, I don't think he takes a single bump. Like, he doesn't go down ever.
Ah, boo.
But hey man, when fucking kayfabe was king, and they had to fucking really sell that shit.
Once you start incorporating like actual celebrities into it, isn't that kind of the point where you're like, all right, we kind of know this isn't real now. Like, That's why Vince McMahon Sr. actually fired Hulk Hogan in the mid-'80s because he appeared in Rocky III. Wait, what?
Vince McMahon Sr. fired Hogan because he thought it made the industry look fake.
Oh, wow.
And then he kind of handed the reins over to Vince McMahon Jr., who's in control of it now. And, like, as soon as he fucking got the control, he was like, all right, this guy's a big cash cow. I cannot afford to not have him. I gotta bring that fucker back.
It's like, oh, yes, that is truly the worst thing the Hulk could have done that got his ass kicked out of the WWE Hall of Fame.
and then what happens? He goes on, does worse, and they still bring him back. What pieces of shit you are, WWE! He can do no wrong in your eyes.
Except for starring in a Rocky movie, which, I mean, I'd be mad at someone for starring in a Rocky movie too, but,
It wasn't even the worst Rocky movie.
Exactly.
He could have done way worse.
Yeah.
He could have been in Rocky 5.
Now, if he was in Rocky 5, I'd be like, all right, your career is over.
Yeah, that's fucking... No one needs to fire you. You're fucking done. The writing's on the wall, Hulk.
They just stopped calling.
He does that fucking Daffy Duck. He goes to his dressing room, and the name on the door and the star falls off. Janitor closet.
fucking Looney Tunes. I was just thinking about my favorite Looney Tune of all time is the Daffy Duck one where the writer is messing with him.
Oh, Duck Amuck!
Oh man,
I love that one.
Dude, I think that's the best one of all time. I think everyone loves that one. Like, because I remember growing up and always wanting that one to come on. Like, every time I watched like Looney Tunes, in the back of my mind it was just like, please let this one be the one that comes on.
Bugs is my favorite character, but I think most of my favorite cartoons were Daffy cartoons.
Dude, I used to fuck with Daffy heavy. I remember having that feeling of like, wait, people really don't like Daffy as much as Bugs? This one might be me projecting, but I don't know. I feel like Daffy was funnier. I feel like, I know Bugs was the dude, but I feel like because Daffy was the butt of the joke so prominently, I think that's what made him more enjoyable to me. Like, the fact that it was a joke that he was the second banana was in and of itself hilarious and made me enjoy him even more.
Bugs as a character is funny, but like Daffy was so fucking extra all the goddamn time. Like, the one that sticks out in my mind is the one where he's like trying to pitch like a movie or a story to like these writers, and they're not buying any of them. So finally at the end, he ends up having to like actually shoot himself to sell the story. And they're like, that's brilliant! And like, but he's dead, so he can't sell it.
I love whenever he is like the foil to Bugs' shenanigans. Like, those are always I think Bugs is my favorite rival of Bugs is Daffy for me, especially the one with those endearing young charms or whatever.
Those endearing young charms.
When he gets angry and pushes him aside.
No!
Like the frustration of just like, oh my God, just do it. And it's like, it doesn't even, like, he's so angry at the music not being complete, he just forgets about the plan. Like, that's such a, I don't know, that feels like a musician thing, right? Like,
yeah. It's always the wrong note and it just drives him crazy.
And it's just like, does Bugs know? Is he doing it on purpose?
Or is this a shitty piano player?
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, we should get back to the program.
Yeah, as we fucking close the door on the fucking Daffy Duck fan club that is us and maybe no one else.
The Going Off podcast, reppin' Team Daffy.
The second album that we will be reviewing this week is Vanarchy by Feral the Earthworm, requested by Sylv Oso. And since this is the second one we're doing, I should probably mention that if there is an album that you would like to request for us to talk about on the show, head on over to either one of our Patreons, patreon.com/rapcritic or patreon.com/muse, to request an album for us to talk about on the show. This was a surprising one, because this was sitting in my Spotify downloads for a while, because whenever I get a request on Patreon, I try to download the album immediately so it's like in my thing so I don't forget about it. And it's just been sitting there collecting dust, and it's like, what a disservice I've done to myself by not listening to Vanarchy sooner. 'Cause dude, the shit's good. This shit's really good.
I was just
again,
like,
another 30 minutes, that's it, in and out. And he's talking some real shit.
Like, it's everything you want in an artist, man. Like,
yeah.
It's just, all it was missing was a bow. Like, straight up and down. Like, this shit was just a gift. It's just like, oh yeah, here's some pleasant ass, joints for 30 minutes. There you go.
You got your fucking personality, you got charisma, you got originality, you got some fucking multis in there, you got some speed rapping in there thrown in randomly, cool beats, cool samples,
cool stories, self-awareness, especially the one track. You know which one I'm talking about.
What the fuck do you know? Fucking shut up, write your raps or whatever.
Yeah, self-analysis. Yeah, it was literally called self-analysis. I was like, wait, what was the name of the song? Was it That on the Nose?
I was even thinking that too, because during the song, which we might as well fucking get into it, fucking Pokemon Go Fuck Yourself.
Okay, the one song that I absolutely could not stand.
You couldn't stand that one.
No.
What was wrong with that one?
it was so like, hey kids, how about you put down your Pokemon Go apps and try to solve the crisis in Syria. It's like, fucking excuse some people.
You know, I thought the same shit too. He definitely did fucking sound like a fucking curmudgeon.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, bro, like, wait. Let people have their fucking fun. This album is like a very small sort of like, you really feel like you're getting a piece of him, right? Because it's all about how he, left his job, bought a van, and he just creates music and travels, and he's so dedicated to it. He's just like, he's happy with where he is. He's on his, into the wild, Henry David Thoreau type shit, like to the max, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, it doesn't feel pretentious. It feels like he has a good time. It feels like he's creating solid music. Like it doesn't feel like it's this weird experimental whatever thing. Like it actually has solid grooves. Some of these joints sound like the chill ass music you listen to, those 24-hour playlists on YouTube, with the raccoon and shit, who's doing his homework and shit.
Fucking lo-fi jams to study to or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. The new Jabez type of joints, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, I was feeling so much of the beats and everything. But yeah, when it got to Pokemon Go Fuck Yourself, it was just the title alone was just like, I immediately got when Hillary Clinton said we need to get him to Pokemon Go to the polls. You see, because Go can also be used in addition to being the name of the app. It's also a phrase like Jesus Christ. And especially when it had the guy screaming on the Pokemon Go fuck it. I was like, okay, fucking, it felt like this whole album was him out in nature and he was having a good time. And then he started seeing a lot of people walking around. He's like, hey, I thought no one was in nature. Oh, wait, is everyone coming back to nature too with me? Oh man, maybe I set off, a social influence. It's getting people to leave their jobs and come back into the nature. Wait, why are they all looking at their phones while they're out here? What is it? Oh, it's some stupid fucking app. God damn it. Oh, I'll show them. I'm gonna make a song with Pokemon Go, eh? Well, this song's gonna be... You know what I mean? Like, it just felt like... It just felt completely, like, strangely petty the way he was approaching it. In a way that I felt like was done so much better on Insignificant, right? Insignificant was the joint where he kind of does the thing of like, on the chorus, he's like, the world is so beautiful and look at all the things that we're comprised of. Like, like there 10 trillion atoms make up every single person and we're made up of mostly water and we're living on this, blue rock that's made up of da-da-da, like talking about all the beautiful mysteries of life. And it's just like, and all we can worry about is, who's winning on this game show and, screaming at the person in front of us in our car.
Oh my God. Yeah. The oldest human bone is 200,000. And all we can worry about is the sales on Black Friday. Like, yeah, dude, the fucking chorus on that song got stuck in my head. It's so goddamn catchy. But, I originally listened to the album a little bit on YouTube and Pokemon Go Fuck Yourself because of the title. I was like, all right, I gotta see what this is. So it was one of the first songs I heard. And it didn't turn me off entirely. I will say that I didn't like that sample at all. It's jarring. It does seem really stupid, especially in the context when you're trying to be serious, to have a guy yelling that. And I don't know who that was, but I think he pops up on the album again in another song.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Is that just like is that like a YouTube ranter just being sampled in a fucking thing?
But there are some lyrics that are actually like on his, I think it was a SoundCloud. Like,
oh, okay.
He put up the lyrics to like the first 6 songs, but then like halfway through the 6th one, the lyric cuts off after like halfway through the song, and it was just like, is he still writing this right now? Like, what happened?
I just gave up. He said, "Fuck this, it's too much." No, like I liked how he was using. Well, I will say some of them worked, a lot of them didn't. Where he was trying to incorporate the names of Pokemon into the rhymes.
Yeah, it was just
I was like, that's clever. It doesn't always work, though. But then, there was that one...
It makes me want to blow up like a Voltorb with it. Okay.
No, I get that. He does that. He self-destructs. No, but, there is, again, like you were mentioning, the self-awareness. Later, he does say, I mean, if it fucking gets you to travel and meet new people, who am I to judge?
That was my thing. It's like, okay, if you're gonna say that at the end, then why have this super overdramatic, oh, you kids are all playing games? Well, look what's happening. And then like it cuts to like, 365 people dead in a landslide and da-da-da. It's just like, okay, what the fuck was anyone supposed to do about that? Like,
it was really overdramatic.
Why are you getting angry at 15-year-olds for not dropping everything at a moment's notice and helping the entire world? Like, I'm sorry if they did a whole bunch of fucking homework and maybe they want to play some Pokemon Go on the way home.
Yeah, I can't hate on them too much, but I definitely do see the flaws in that one, and it was hard to like, but I didn't hate it. It's just, it's an awkward one.
Yeah, literally other than that song, I absolutely loved this album.
Right?
Like, that song was so, like, strangely, that hit me so, like, jarringly that I was angry that it was there, because I was like, no, this was supposed to be perfect. I was supposed to give you a good score, man. It was supposed to be a perfect score, and then you did this shit. But no, Imaginary Numbers... First of all, I love listening to this album, and when he really started getting into the lyrics and like what his life was, and you really started to understand, oh, these aren't just different songs. These are all like a project of, like, this is all an experience. You're going to get to know who this person is and what's going on in his life by the end of this album. And I love how it starts off as the joke, where he samples the Chris Farley thing, and I live in a van down by the river, and it's just like, oh, that's funny. He lives in a van down by the river. He's being ridiculous. And the next song is, no, seriously, I quit my job, and I'm not, like, I'm actually doing rap for full time, and I'm not, like, this isn't a joke. And I was like, oh, like, I love how it's just like he's able to make a joke out of it, but also take it seriously, and you never feel like it's, You never feel a tonal issue there.
Imaginary Numbers is maybe the best song on the album. It's definitely one of my favorites. It's well, you know what?
No, I think all I have is it for like the beat. Like, that's just a fucking classic banger. Like, as I was listening to the song, I was like, I already feel like this is a song that has been my favorite for a really long time. You know what I mean? Like, it's that type of energy,
There's a lot on Imaginary Numbers I enjoy. Like, I remember at one point, he samples, like, children cheering, and I thought that was really funny.
Oh, yeah!
It's, like, cheering his fucking failures. And, I forget what he says, but he says, like, I'm not being judgmental. And then you hear in the voice in the background going, I mean, it kind of sounds like you are.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a little bit.
I love little touches like that.
There was a lot of personality in that song that, like, he doesn't really do too often on the rest of the album. But, like you had said, it's an experience, right? All the songs are going to be different tonally. They are going to say something different, except when he does beat you over the head with the fact that he quit his job and that he's rap. It's like, I got that. He does repeat that a bit much.
That was cool.
He says it on a few different tracks, and I was like, okay, I know.
Yeah, no, I feel you. But I loved how he, like, I think it was, which track was it where I kind of felt like it was starting to repeat, but then he switched up what was happening halfway through the verse, and it was just like, oh, okay. Oh, no, I got you. Oh, Insignificant. Yes. Again, one of my favorite tracks on the album. The first verse, it feels like he's sort of saying the same thing of like, yeah, you left your job and that sort of stuff. And then the last verse is like, he just rails off the different people that he knows in his life that are like, this person is doing what they love instead of doing a cubicle job. This woman like volunteers with firefighters and old ladies, and I mean like helps sing at like a nursing home or something like that. Like she loves singing with people at nursing homes, and this person finds their purpose in life doing this, and it's just like, yeah, we're all different and we should all be doing what we love. And it was just like, that was such a beautiful moment, Fluorescent Light. I'm sorry, just to bring up another one. I love that one, especially the message of it about, the beat was a little bit more toned down and basic, but it was just like, I didn't even matter because the message was so strong about letting go of people that are bad for you. And how, you need to allow yourself to grow and don't get yourself down about the fact that you're not perfect yet. Like, he literally has the lyric where he says, and this is what brought it together, the last lyric, and it just like hit, man. When you water the seed that is your human, you foster the positive thoughts and prosper, which makes you the obvious option when you cross over one that's proper. You know, like when you cross someone that is right for you. And it's just like, that's so like poignant. Like, don't worry about the fact that your right person isn't coming along yet. Work on you, and then when it happens, it will happen. I was just like, oh man, I appreciate that.
You know, I think what I really enjoyed about him is that a lot of it seemed so effortless. Like, it seemed like he was just fucking, like, a lot of it just felt like it was just off the top, you know? I like that one track where I forgot exactly, I wish I would have wrote it down, but there's a track where he specifically says, all right, slow it down, and then speed raps.
Yeah.
And there's another song where, and I know we've kind of clowned on it a little bit, but there's a song where a lot of it, or at least one verse, kind of like has the VAN prefix.
I thought that was cool, though. I actually wasn't.
That was
on
slick.
That.
Yeah, like a lot of the things we make fun of, it's because of the execution. But dude, a lot of what he does on this EP, he does really fucking well.
Yeah, I absolutely love, again, going back to self-analysis, where, you know, you just get finished with Insignificant, which, like I said, I felt like was a better version of Pokemon Go Fuck Yourself, right? So I'm like, oh, well, you know, he's doing the criticizing society. He's doing that in a lot better track here. Cool. And the next track, it starts off with the first lyric. So a self-important artist who lives in a van by the river wants to criticize society and tell us to get the picture? Wow, sounds convincing, bud. Guess I'll go buy a farm and recycle water and go bury some gold by a barn. I was just like, oh shit, like, it sounded like someone interrupted his album just to be like, oh, you think you're smart, motherfucker?
It's that fucking Father John Misty self-awareness.
Exactly, like, he's having a good time, enjoying himself. He's just like, yeah, I feel good. You know, I'm enjoying myself in my little corner of the world. I'm a smart guy. You know, I'm thinking outside of the box. And then someone just, like, kicked down, you know, the door that he was behind, you know, just like, what do you think you're doing over here? Yo, you think you're a smart guy, eh? Well, let me tell you something about how society really works. And he's just like, oh shit, oh, okay. I guess I should consider this information too, but it's still kind of scary that you did this so, you know, so loudly. You know what I mean?
I didn't think anyone else was out here.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought I was alone. I didn't think anyone could actually hear me.
I mean, you know, now that someone else is hearing my words, I guess I do have to be a little more careful with what I was saying. But
I'm unsure where on the rating scale this would land for me, because there are some songs that don't hit as hard, and Pokemon Go Fuck Yourself is a mixed bag. But I did listen to it a few times, and I had that experience where the fucking song would kick on, and I'd get that little fucking, oh yeah, shit, it's this one, yeah. Like, I'd get excited for it again, because like, oh yeah, I remember this one. This one's fucking dope.
Exactly. It's like, every time I wanted to go like, the Pokemon Go Fuck Yourself song, I didn't enjoy that, but like, every song I absolutely enjoy other than that one. And like, it's to the point where, like, okay, when I heard Vapors, dude, when he samples Life's a Bitch with the Until the Day We Expire and Turn to Vapors, and the way it sounds really like, you hear the Rhodes sort of, you know, playing in the background, the really sweet sound there, and then you hear the dusty drums, the blaring soulful sax, and then you hear that little sample just go into the ether, Until the Day We Expire and Turn to Vapors. I was just like, okay, this is a good album. All right, fuck it, I get it. You know, like with how the verses worked going into the chorus and hearing that sample, it was just like, ooh, you crafted this shit right. So look, I'm gonna have to give it to you, bro. 5 out of 5.
Even with the Pokemon Go Fuck Yourself, huh?
Yeah, dude, there were a couple of songs on here, like, you know how I give some songs 0, some songs 6s, you know what I mean, when it goes above and beyond, and I feel like there are enough songs on here that go above and beyond to sort of forgive that, you know what I mean?
I'd probably say somewhere between a 4 and a 4.5. I can't give it the perfect score. I hate that I slept on this album, and Pharrell's definitely going to be someone I keep my fucking eye open for, because this was dope. And I really got to thank Silver... what was it even? Hold on. The fuck, I just had it. I got to thank Silv Oso for the request, because, again, it's one of these guys I probably never would have heard of if it wasn't for the request. Yeah. And it's the unpredictability of the game, you know?
Last week we were doing what was it? The Sonic album?
That's what I'm saying. You never know what the fuck it's gonna be. It could be Wheeler Walker Jr. or Farrell the Earthworm. It's like, I will say that the one thing, and I know people don't like when we compare things, but these two albums, besides being like almost exactly 30 minutes each, they were both really consistent.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Like the energy and the quality was pretty consistent the whole way through, and I really enjoyed that.
And I think, that's all you can really ask for. It's like, I feel like with both of these albums, no, they're not, absolute masterpieces, but I think they're great entries into the genres that they are,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I definitely recommend both of these.
Well, that about wraps it up for this week's episode of the Going Off podcast. Thank you very much for checking us out. If this happens to be your first week listening to us, all of our old episodes are on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. You can hit us up on Twitter, follow us on Patreon like we'd mentioned earlier. You can subscribe to both of our YouTube channels and see what we post normally besides the podcast. And until next week, for the Going Off podcast, I'm Muse.
And I'm Rap Critic. Yo, Howard Schultz. Pack it up, pack it in, and do not begin. Drop your ass out the race. Ain't nobody want that fucking Starbucks CEO fucking bullshit. I think we've had enough billionaire fucking presidents for now.